Hey friends, it's Mandy. If you're looking for a gift that really stands out this year, for dads or grads, I have the perfect idea. How about a massage or facial from Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler? You know I've had the chance to experience their services myself, and they are truly next level. Whether it's helping a hardworking dad relax or giving a recent grad a little well-deserved self-care, Hand and Stone makes it easy to give them a gift they will truly appreciate. You know I like to customize my massages with the Himalayan salt stones. So many different add-ons that you can try. They've got those customizable massages, professional facials that you can customize specific for your skin as well, and gift cards to fit any budget. So you can treat them to something that's both thoughtful and personal. You can visit handandstonetyler.com to learn more or stop by in person in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler. Welcome back to the Celebrating Women podcast. I'm Mandy Montana, and I hope you have had a fabulous week. I have got something different I want to share with you today. This is a concept that I developed way back in my early radio days when I shared an office with my radio mentor, Chuck McKinley. We would have kind of this running list of things that made us happy. Things like great coffee, right? And when there was something that, we really enjoyed, or let's say it was a great bit on Saturday Night Live, we were both big fans at the time, we would add these things to a list. And I decided to name the list the Yay List, as in, yay, I'm so excited about it, right? So we had this running list of things. It was actually taped up on the inside of my desk. Had cabinets at the top, like one of those old school computer desks that has a hutch on top and it's got cabinets. So I had a cabinet, and inside the door of the cabinet, I had taped the Yay List. And it, developed over time. We added things to it from time to time, but it started out with a few things. And he and I were talking about this over coffee not long ago, nostalgically about how much we enjoyed, having something to celebrate. And in, the theme of celebrating women over time, we've talked about there are a variety of things that we can celebrate and how important celebrations are and how that can boost our mood and be so good for us. And in the spirit of biohacking and recent themes and episodes, I thought it would be really fun to share with you what my current Yay List is. It's not official. It's not taped up inside a cabinet, but there are some things that I've been excited about lately that I want to share with you. So today we are going to explore Mandy's current Yay List. Biohacking is at the top of it right now. That was one of our recent episodes, and I shared with you some tips on gratitude and, some of the supplements that I use that I love that are making me feel better. So that's one thing we can add to that celebration Yay List for sure. And I subscribe to a fair amount of newsletters. I don't know if you're a newsletter junkie like I am, but I like to read and I like to learn. And so there are a few people that I subscribe to. One of them is an author that you may be familiar with, Rachel Hollis. She's on the New York Times bestseller list for a few books. One of them, the first one I read, Girl, Wash Your Face. Kind of a personal development memoir style book. It's great. If you've never read it, I do recommend it. I enjoyed it. And I've been following her newsletter and podcast for a while, mostly her newsletter. And she mentioned something in her most recent newsletter. And I thought, man, I've got to share that with people. She talked about the value of offering compliments. And this is something that I have seen in my life to be incredibly valuable too. So who doesn't love to receive a compliment, right? Somebody tells you got great shoes, or they love your bag, or I don't know, anything, right? You've got a great smile. Everybody loves to receive a compliment, especially when it's genuine and authentic. But research shows, according to Rachel's newsletter, research shows that the value of a compliment is not just on the receiving end, it's also on the giving. So my challenge to you and what I've added to my current Yay List is complimenting others. This is something that I do, and I love to do it because it does make me feel good, and I know it makes the other person feel good too. So especially if I see that somebody is maybe not having the best day, I'll pick something out about them that I enjoy or I like, and I'll compliment them. Maybe it's a cashier that's, got a great top on, or they've got a great smile or a great attitude, right? Because, sometimes we go through a checkout line and somebody's, not in a great mood. So when they are in a great mood, why not tell them like, hey, thank you for being so friendly today. This was a great interaction. I appreciate it. It will make you feel good, and it will probably change the course of their day. So on the yay list so far, we've got biohacking and complimenting. So offer a compliment today if you get the opportunity. So another newsletter that I subscribe to is called The Skim. And it's essentially news headlines. It's like aggregated news. So it's a way for me to know what's going on in entertainment, pop culture, and like world and US news, but get kind of a brief headline and then typically a link to another source like the AP or Reuters or the New York Times, some established, credible news source. So I find that to be very helpful. And one of the links that I saw in this newsletter the other day was 8 things you should splurge on from CNBC. And I thought it was so good because we're all in this stage right now of saving money, right? The world is kind of weird. Things are just a little off kilter. So a lot of people are looking at ways that they can save, that they can cut back or make different changes. But every once in a while, we do need to splurge. So what is something to splurge on? At the top of their list, I loved it. Live music. Yes. Who doesn't love going to a concert and singing along with all the people in the crowd? It's amazing, right? It is one of the best experiences that you can have. I've had so many great opportunities over the years to see live music, both in big stadium settings and also like in really small, intimate settings. And each time it's super special. Like that experience is in that moment, and it can't be, or it won't be repeated ever again. It's just extra special. So, and this is something that I occasionally splurge on. So live music, add it to your list. I'm happy to link that for you if you want to see some of the other things you can splurge on. Also on that list, travel, which of course, I'm a travel bug. I absolutely love it. So on the yay list, if you're keeping track, biohacking, compliments, and a couple of things you should splurge on, like live music and travel. So something else on my yay list right now is a book that I read several years ago. And it's so good that I carried many of the principles and ideas from it with me for years. It's called The Universe Has Your Back, Transforming Your Fear into Faith by the author Gabrielle Bernstein. Also, people call her Gabby. It's a great book. She released it 10 years ago, and it's on my radar again because she just released a 10th anniversary edition of the book, and she's been posting about it. And she posted some quotes from the book recently on social media. If you're not following her, go follow Gabby Bernstein. So good. I had forgotten just how meaningful this book was. So I picked it back up, and I got to tell you, it's one of those that the themes never, they don't go away. Like they transforming your fear into faith is always there. There's always going to be something in life where we're going to face a challenge. We're going to face an obstacle. Something's not quite right. And you're going to need to move from fear into faith. And she's got some incredible ideas in there, including what she calls the holy instant, which is the moment that you have an awareness of, I need to shift my energy. I need to shift from fear to faith, right? And right in the beginning of the book, one of the things she encourages you to do, and that I've adopted in the last week as I've revisited this, is to have a new mantra, and that is, I am ready to learn through love. Many of us learn through fear on a regular basis, whether we're anxious about something, frustrated, unsure, lack clarity. In that moment, she calls the holy instance, when you have an awareness of that, you can easily look at it through a different lens by saying, I choose to learn through love, and look at it as a learning opportunity and find some gratitude in that moment. And we talked about gratitude in the last episode. So you know that's high on my list. So The Universe Has Your Back. I love it. I am rereading it. I will probably share some additional principles from it as I get through it. I'm not only like listening to it on Audible. I have it there. I like to listen. She's got a lovely voice. I like listening to her, but I have the book too. And I've been actually journaling and taking notes this go round, and I find it very helpful. So on the yay list, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Another book that I am currently listening to, if you are a fan of fantasy, the author Sarah J. Maas, I'm a big fan. I did several podcast episodes talking about the strong women in her novels over the last year. We started that series about a year ago, my friend Kelly and I did, where we sort of talked about the women characters, the female characters in her books. And I'm rereading her series, Throne of Glass, right now, currently in the book Heir of Fire. Heir as in like an heiress of fire. The main character, of course, has a lot of strength and fire and courage within her. She's very brave, and she has many challenges to overcome too. She's also very smart, witty, resilient, and I find that there are a lot of qualities in the main character that I would like to embody in my life. Of course, I'm not living in a fantasy world, but I feel like it's something, if you enjoy fantasy, and so it's probably considered young adult fiction. If you enjoy those genres, I highly recommend you pick it up. Start with Throne of Glass. Heir of Fire is technically it's the third book in the series, but there is a prequel that many people read third, The Assassin's Blade. So start with Throne of Glass. Reach out to me. You're welcome to send me a message. We can talk Sarah J. Maas and that whole series if you want to. So currently on my yay list, Heir of Fire. Another thing coming up that I wanted to share with you, I recently had on the podcast a guest of a local nonprofit in Tyler, the Evie Effect. You may remember I visited with Jessica Domingos. She's the executive director, and it is such an incredible organization doing great work for mental health and suicide prevention in the East Texas area. And Jessica won me over immediately. She is a lovely, lovely woman, and the Evie Effect is getting ready to celebrate their 5th anniversary this Friday. If you were listening to the podcast the week it comes out, it is June 13th, their 5th anniversary. So make sure you go follow the Evie Effect on social media. And if you're able to come out and support them in their 5th anniversary, it's going to be a party and it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what they usually have? Live music. Oh, yes. So on the A list, the 5th anniversary party for the Evie Effect. And I told you that I follow some incredible newsletters that I subscribe to. And another one that I want to share from you is from another author, actually, James Clear. He wrote Atomic Habits, another, I think, New York Times bestseller. It's atop a lot of lists. James Clear talks about how, habits are fundamental to our behavior. And so we can either develop good habits or bad habits, or habits maybe not that necessarily would be bad, but aren't moving us forward, right? It's an incredible book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But he also has a newsletter that he releases on Thursdays, 321. It's incredible. Every time I get it, I feel like it resonates with me. I'm like, how does he know what I'm going through? How did he know that I needed to know this principle in this moment? But if you are looking for something to hit your inbox that's going to make you think, that is going to remind you of ways to build good habits, to be thoughtful, productive, and maybe, challenge you a little bit, I highly recommend subscribing to his newsletter. So I know this was kind of a different kind of episode today. It's kind of short and sweet, but sometimes I just feel like I need to share the things that are making my life better, because I want your life to be better. It's part of why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place. Ashley and I felt like when we first started it that our conversations could be beneficial for other people. Like maybe we had an idea that somebody else needed to hear and that it would touch their life in some way. And so as I was, reminiscing with my friend Chuck, my radio mentor, about our yay list that we had back in the day, I thought, this could be a fun topic for the podcast. So just to rehash really quickly, we'll recap them. Biohacking, the latest episode, if you didn't listen, go get some of my favorite biohacking tips. That's topping my yay list right now. The second thing, complimenting others, offering a compliment. It not only makes their day, but it might make yours too. Number 3, go check out 8 Things to Splurge On. It's an article from CNBC, but I'll put it in the show notes for you because sometimes we do need to splurge. Sometimes spending a little extra money is absolutely worth the investment for how it makes you feel and the great memories that you're going to carry with you afterwards. Also on the list, 2 different books, one personal development, one fiction. The personal development one, I've read it before. I'm reading it again. I love it. The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. The second one, also have read this one a few times. Rereading the series Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Currently reading Heir of Fire. It's so good. And an event that you can attend if you're in the East Texas area, the Evie Effect's 5th anniversary party on Friday, June 13th. Jessica Domingos, the executive director, was a recent guest. I'd love for you to listen to that episode. So many people have. It's one of our top episodes right now, Turning Pain into Purpose. It's a beautiful episode. She's an incredible woman, and it's going to be a special celebration on the 13th. So definitely check those things out. Final note on the Yay list, of course, 321, the newsletter from author James Clear. Definitely check it out. And thanks for joining me this week. I know it's kind of a quick one, but definitely some positivity, and hopefully you're going to find one of these things and add some joy to your life. If you do, if you subscribe to a newsletter, you pick up a book, I would love to know how it impacts your life and if you would add it to your own personal Yay list.